Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review
Let's review.
Season 7.
Bum.
Bum.
That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers, and welcome to the latest episode of Christmas in July 2020. It's hot outside, the birds are chirping, and we're just gonna sit inside and talk about a bunch of Mandalorian, because that's what we do, right, Dragon?
Yeah, 10 tends to be, yeah.
It's like we could be going out and socializing, but no, we got Mando talk to cover. Man, that takes priority. Anyways. Dragon, we're talking the Mandalorian, of course, and guess what?
What?
We've talked about this show before.
You just are on a mission to be on my bad side this week, you know that? Just
Oh, I know it. I know it. At this point, I'm kind of just embracing my role as the heel right now.
Yeah, let's just see how far that gets you. Okay. All right.
But seriously, we're talking the Mandalorian holiday special, Dragon. This is going to be a really fun one. Of course, to set the context, last year for Christmas in July, we did a very unique holiday special of sorts. We pitched a Life Day overlay of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And so, Dragon, for the Mandalorian, we're going to take that one step forward, one step above. We're going to have a Life Day holiday special of the Mandalorian set not exclusively on Batuu, but, heavily featuring Batuu. So, Dragon, this is definitely like a spiritual successor.
Yes, definitely. I mean, of course, Mando is, of course, kind of beloved by all. It's a great show. We kind of gabbed about it for God knows how long, breaking it down as it came out, and of course, doing a little season overview. And also, Mando is one of the things we can count on this year in terms of releases because they already shot it. It's in the can, and it's going out, I believe, October, November. I think it's October. So yeah, it's coming.
October, yeah.
Yeah, so the point being, what we kind of done here, folks, is every year on Christmas in July, we like to try to do like a little pitch of something. And again, as Tiki said, a little connective tissue, just kind of a little bit by happenstance. I mean, who was I kidding when we were going to talk about Star Wars? I knew this guy was going to work in Batuu somewhere, somehow. And basically, what I like to do, we've been teaming up on these pitches these days. We kind of like collaborate, and I like to set things. I try to like go for the legit sell. I like to try try to appease the the hires up, as it were. Like try to fit in like a puzzle. I like the puzzle piece approach to the pitch. So we've set this in between seasons 1 and 2. We're not trying to step on season 2's toes. Like we're not trying to say, and then Ahsoka comes in and she does this. We don't know what Ahsoka's going to do yet. That's the thing. We don't want to like say, here's what happens. Like we don't want to get too ambitious, but still, like here's what happens along the way from season 1 to season 2. Some of it's probably gonna be retcon in the end, but who knows? Maybe this will get a little untouched. Maybe this will be like in our own heads, in our own little head canon. This happened. Because remember, the reason we have this is Jon Favreau. He started all this with the first episode of Mando, dropping some Life Day, dropping a little holiday special. Of course, Mando in his inception, he's using the pulse rifle from the holiday special. He canonized it a little bit. Yeah,
right.
That Favreau. So basically, we're picking up where Mando season 1 left off, just to kind of gild the lily contextually here. So for the folks who it's been a while. So Mando, he was tasked at the end of Mandalorian to reunite Baby Yoda with the Jedi, because we still don't know what to call Baby Yoda's race. The point being, Baby has Jedi powers, therefore Jedi, which is obviously going to cause some friction between the Mandalorians and the Jedi, because historically they don't get along so good. We're going to see how that goes in season 2. The point being, he's still looking for a Jedi, which at this stage of the game, this is at the end of this 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Only known Jedi is Luke, and Luke's going around the place looking for more Jedi. And the point being, it's a needle in a haystack within space, so not an easy task the Mando's assigned himself here. And the only known Jedi, Luke, he's going around the place. Moff Gideon, the great Giancarlo Esposito. As far as Mando's concerned, he's MIA. They assume he's dead, but we, the audience, he's gone. He's not going to pop up in this. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford Giancarlo. I'm sorry, folks. He's a very busy man. We couldn't afford
I did work Giancarlo Esposito into my recent my recent armchair Imagineering project for the Avatar theme park Dragon as an original villain. So, I got some Giancarlo Esposito pitching in this week.
Don't worry, folks. His presence is felt certainly in a few places here. We're building up a little bit of Gideon for season 2. Very excited for him in season 2, and also we're probably in touch on Mandalore in season 2. So unfortunately, we couldn't work Mandalore into this one heavily like I would have liked to. But again, we don't want to step on season 2's toes. So
Sure.
That's why we kind of went with the Batuu of it all. So, point being, like all the major stuff, all the classic Star Wars planets are in the the outer rim, a little bit of mid rim in there, outer rim, of course. What's on the edge of the outer rim? Galaxy's Edge, Batuu. It's all tying together, folks. So again, we're trying to blend kind of the quality of the Mandalorian with the holiday special, seeing using kind of an armchair sort of blueprint for Jon Favreau should he ever actually make the Mandalorian holiday specials. Give him a little guidebook, like here's how you might be able to do it. So like Mando has like a 3-act structure, 3 set pieces, 3 things that happen in an episode. It's kind of what we do with our 3-act structure for this pitch. There are 5 celebrity cameos in the original Star Wars Holiday Special. We have kind of 3 cameos outside of just kind of giving certain roles, certain characters. Hopefully it's not too long and hopefully not too boring. Hopefully folks will like it. So fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. Life Day.
All right. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Dragon, where do we start?
Start Act 1. Act 1 is kind of our action-packed kind of a nod to the holiday special. So we start on the red water moon of Panna. Now, folks, that may sound familiar to you for you holiday special aficionados, because this is the place where the Boba Fett cartoon is set.
Oh, yeah.
In the holiday special.
Okay, so Dragon, I think this is so much more realistic than how we homage this scene in our Galaxy's Edge pitch, because do you remember what we did in our Galaxy's Edge pitch?
Well, it's been a while, but I remember we kind of put it into we had like a little shootout with Boba Fett in the in our kind of our pitch. I remember that much, and I believe
No. What we did was we put a full animatronic dinosaur at the entrance of Galaxy's Edge.
Oh yes, right. That was your right. Yes,
and this is a lot more feasible, being able to like recreate something like this, but in the glorious modern day Star Wars aesthetic.
Of course. Now, ideally, I think the close-ups would be practical. I think broadly would probably do the kind of the void, like the game engine technology they have on Mando. We learned about during the Disney Gallery. We'll shout out for Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian.
Oh
Check
God,
that out,
still just one of the best making ofs. Oh,
it's great. So the point being, folks, right off the bat, we wanted to give you a taste of course, the big reason you're checking it. What's the biggest opportunity you can get away with Mandalorian, the holiday special? Well, you gotta homage the introduction of Boba Fett, which again definitely it inspires a little bit of what we get with the Mandalorian. So, so we start things off here. We're on the red water moon of Panna. Now, it's called red. Basically, the red water of this moon is it's like Jello. It's like this Jello-like sticky surface that's infested by dinosaurs that are really hungry and they eat spaceships and God knows what else. So the point being, that's what we're dealing with here. Mando is being pursued by 2 ships, presumably manned by bounty hunters. People after Baby Yoda, because as we're going to get into, some people didn't get the memo that Baby Yoda contract no more, or is it? So, point is, Mando gets one of them. He basically is doing some hot shot maneuvering. He gets one of them stuck in the Jello-like water, and then of course, once it's stuck in the water, we reveal one of the 2 dinosaurs from the holiday special that just pops up and starts to eat one of the spaceships, Jaws style, like it's eating like Quint's legs, man. It's like it's going at it.
So, it's just like a nice little bit of fan service right at the top.
Yeah.
Just, but the good kind of fan service, kind of like that deep cut fan service that still adds to the lore.
Yeah, and again, don't get me wrong. I know we kind of had a really cool homage to this in the Mandalorian, but we kind of went full tilt with it. You know what? Let's just give folks what they're looking for here. Like a part of them is like they're gonna do the holiday special. They got to do the actual cartoon, and we're doing that, folks, because we love it.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to go through the action.
Okay, go ahead.
My Mark Andrews here, if I may. So, Mando goes autopilot with the spaceship with the Razor Crest, which Razor Crest is going to be really important in the Act 3. He uses his jetpack, which now he has at the end of season 1. He's got that jetpack now. We've got to use that. He uses the jetpack to surprise attack the other ship. Basically, this cool thing where he opens the cargo door of the Razor Crest. He's like walks out of it as the ship is pursuing him on the jetpack. He basically what the? I didn't know this guy had a jetpack. He just he flies in front of the ship and basically shoots it down from the outside. So now the other bounty hunter ship is crashing into the sea. And of course, as he's kind of riding the ship down, Mando spots the other big dinosaur eyeing the idling Razor Crest. It's kind of like on autopilot, it's kind of hovering right now, with a blissfully unaware Baby Yoda like waving hi inside.
Oh God!
Yeah.
So
he's just like he's not terrified. I was like, yeah, look, big dinosaur. He's like, look, big old dinosaur. Mando, check this out, big dinosaur. So as the other dinosaurs is. The dinosaurs are converging. They're both about to eat the hovering thing. They're both about to eat the hovering spaceship. Mando flies on top of the Razor Crest. Like he runs across it, and he basically, using his pulse rifle, as he does in the holiday special, as Boba Fett does in the holiday special, he blasts both. He blasts one dinosaur to the side, and they blast the other one, while the other one's discombobulated. The iconic one that he rides, that's in front of the Razor Crest. He flies onto it. He gets bucked like a bronco on a practical neck of the thing. He hits it again like he does in the thing to kind of tame it for a bit there. He hits it with the pulse rifle, and basically what he does is he directs it. He's kind of directing it towards the downed spaceship. So basically those bounty hunters are dead meat. So they're like, oh no, they're dead meat, as he's basically steering both dinosaurs away from the Razor Crest and basically to the two heaping helpings of lunch they got waiting for him in the Jello. So action sequence, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So now we're in the aftermath of all that action. We got a little plot here. Of course, it's not a holiday special without two guys chatting in a spaceship.
Of course.
So it's in the aftermath. Mando calls Grief Karga to logically ask, "Hey, man, what the heck?" So he's asking Grief Karga, hey, "Why is there still a bounty out on Baby Yoda? I thought you canceled that. And I thought we sorted all that out at the end of season 1." And Karga says, "Well, yeah, man. Of course, played by the wonderful Carl Weathers. We're not doing any justice here, but just go with it for the pitch, folks." Karga, he's saying, I closed the contract, but the client, a.k.a. Werner Herzog, he sent out a lot of tracking fobs on the behalf of Moff Gideon. Of course, Giancarlo Esposito looking for Baby Yoda. The point being, he sent out a lot of tracking fobs to all the bounty hunters, and even though Karga closed the contract, it means those tracking fobs shouldn't be working. Somehow they are, and Karga is just as baffled by this as Mando is. Well, the contract, this shouldn't be possible given Moff Gideon's dead, but he'll look into it. Again, what the two of them don't know, what we, the audience, know, Gideon's alive. He's alive.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Mando, he's just expositing that he needs a Jedi lead for Baby Yoda. And Karga, he has an idea. He suggests that Mando look up an old contact. It's an ally who's had encounters with Jedis, and it's also a guy who always has a bounty on his head, which provides a way to find him. That man is the one, the only, you know him, you love him, Hondo Ohnaka!
Yeah, gotta love Hondo Ohnaka. Seriously, he's so much fun. It's Tiki again. One of these, I know maybe just watch all the Hondo episodes from Clone Wars because
that's what I should do. That's really what I should do. Yeah, you're right.
Because it's so much fun when he pops up because he's always like, especially the dynamic he built to Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's my favorite thing. It's just always like Obi-Wan's like, oh god, this guy. I'm like, oh my Jedi friend. Okay, so Karga runs the chain code on Hondo Ohnaka. So basically, because this guy always has a bounty on his head, which he famously does, he always has a bounty on his head. That's how you can find him because he always just run the code. I'm like, oh, I know where this guy is. So basically, he's on this at this time in the timeline of Star Wars. We're spitballing here. It's kind of a relatively unknown entity, the planet Batuu, which has a lot of secrets that haven't been quite uncovered yet. Sure. It's the Black Spire outpost. Basically, again, Batu's big cell is right before you get into the wild space, like the undeclared space, all the surprises and mysteries of the galaxies. It's right before that. So Karga also suggests, save your search for another day. It's Life Day of all days. Come back to Navarro for the celebration. We're doing free drinks. Come on, celebrate with us. And Mando, again, I love Grief Karga's always trying to be buddy with Mando. He's trying to take him to the spa. We'll get some spice. We'll hang out. But Mando, he declines because
get some blue milk.
Yeah. But Mando declines because again, this is the way. He's got a mission.
And Dragon, this leads us into one of our first tropes here. Of course, this is definitely going to be a very loose, like, Christmas special. It's like it's more Life Day. There's going to be like one or two things like in the season of giving and everything like that we can wrap into Christmas. But Dragon, would it be fair to say that Mando is the Scrooge of this
Yeah,
episode?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mando is the Scrooge figure. Yeah.
Okay. And it's not that he's a mean guy, it's just that he's definitely not into the holiday, and that's the Scrooge way.
Yes, and understandably,
Scrooge way.
because of course, Mando being a foundling, no family to speak of, Life Day not quite a happy memory for him. So, on the way to Batuu, Mando, we have a little flashback, much like we do like the whole armoring kind of flashbacks in Mandalorian. He has a flashback to Life Day with his family on Mandalorian. His father's holding him close, like the family's a nice, good time. And again, Mando's kind of thinking back. Meanwhile, so now we arrive at Batuu and we reveal Batuu through I think as Disney would be very satisfied through the eyes of an eager child. So baby Batuu, he's so excited to arrive on Batuu the Splendor. Oh, like a 2001 shot with those big old baby Yoda eyes for all we know. The point being we've arrived on Batuu, which brings us to Act 2, Batuu.
Dragon, so let's talk about just kind of like the practical implications of doing this.
Sure.
So my vision for what they do here is, of course, we saw with the making of the amazing effects that they pull off with those with the VR and the screens and everything. The void,
giant,
right.
Basically the giant circle that projects everything onto it, yeah.
Yeah. So I want them to do stuff like that for Galaxy's Edge to kind of just like branch it out, because obviously with the theme park you only have 16 acres of land to work with. You're not going to be able to see all the vistas that this planet has to offer. That being said, Dragon, I think Disney would be stupid to not, and I'm talking of course it doesn't have to be a holiday special, but I think Disney would be stupid to not film something on Batuu on location, because I've been there, my friend, and it is just like, it's a set. It feels like a set. It feels more like a set than it does a theme park land. So, I don't know. I definitely think that especially some of these exteriors and things like that, they should really consider just having some shots of the actual location. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Well, far as I'm concerned, Act 2 essentially is, you can probably do Act 2 practically. Act 3 is probably going to absolutely have to use the void.
Oh, of course, sure.
But I'm saying certain shots like that maybe extend the location. Like I imagine Oga's Cantina is going to be a little tight to shoot in.
Oh yeah, Oga's Cantina we would basically have to rework. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Exteriors and maybe a few alleyways. I'm sure.
Definitely the exterior of Oga's Cantina we can shoot for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I think the exterior should be. That's what I'm saying. So basically, Act 2 is pretty much the exploration, like the money shot when you arrive. I think stuff like that you can do practically and be really cool. And again, it'd be the first time they shot on location, from what I understand, if they do that, which would be cool. By all means,
it'd be the first time they ever shot like a movie within an actual theme park land.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Okay. Actually, I'm pretty sure on the Tower of Terror movie, they shot some of it at the Tower of Terror ride, but still, it'd be that'd be a step up, filming an actual land and using it as a location. Anyway,
the only example I can think of is Saving Mr. Banks, but outside of that,
sure, that's good. Yeah, and also Tomorrowland. I'm sorry, not to derail us too much.
Yeah, we're kind of okay. Let's focus on the one theme park. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Point being, we explore the location and its splendor. Kind of we take in the sights. Again, we can build on Batuu. It's kind of this melting pot of not necessarily scum and villainy, but definitely smugglers and colorful characters from around the galaxy.
And sketchiness.
There you go. So the duo of Baby Yoda and Mandalorian, they head to Oga's Cantina, and we meet Oga. So yeah, apparently Oga is she's kind of this alien creature. So basically, we have either made up or we dub in over someone in a suit, Margot Martindale, kind of the
character actress Margot Martindale.
Absolutely, who is somewhat of our kind of contemporary for B. Arthur.
In some ways, yes.
Not quite our guest star, but basically we're giving a role because Oga was a pre-established sort of thing. We're kind of seeing her actually
Yeah, we're trying to give a lot of face time to the pre-established characters that would make sense to be in Galaxy's Edge during this time period. So none of the First Order or the Republic or the Resistance. I'm sorry, none of the First Order or Resistance But definitely like the pre-established, like the mainstays, like the Doc Ondors of the world. We're definitely going to see them, folks.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the point being, Olga is like she's in the cantina, she's serving the place. We also here's a little addition I had. I was very proud. There was one story because I tried to work in some really cool obscure characters because the Mandalorian is based like in the old credo of the show, as we learned, is like we're playing with our leftover action figures. Our brother took all the cool action figures. And we got a Boba Fett. We painted him silver. It's like they're playing with the leftover action figures from Star Wars. Which for me, the fun obscure character I can think of that we could absolutely work in is Max Rebo, the blue elephant musician from Jabba's palace. So Max Rebo, in my headcanon here, he's playing the music. He's in Oga's cantina. He's kind of he's the DJ precursor to Rex. So before Rex enters, and we kind of get an idea. We kind of connect the dots there. Why Rex would have an opening, would have a job opening.
Exactly.
Point being, so right now Max Rebo, he's kind of the general musician at this time, again, 5 years after Jedi. Max Reba's looking for work. The Jabba gig kind of went up in flames. He's looking for new work. Why not? So Oga, she is serving a very seasonal, very jolly Hondo Ohnaka, life of the party. This guy.
Oh my god! And of course, we have to talk. This is definitely going to be Jim Cummings in practical makeup. It's got to be.
Well, yes, but also, I mean, we've seen him at Galaxy's Edge. They've done guys. They had a guy who looks exactly like him, but they've dubbed Jim Cummings over him. I think we could do that too. I mean, I'm saying we want like complete verisimilitude. But then again, I mean, I'm not knocking it either. We can put him in there, but I think Jim Cummings might have to. I don't know. He may have to. Some with his face. He has a facial hair and everything. But he could always shave. The point, you know what I mean. Point is, we're actually going to have, we're going to make Hondo real. Unless we can't shoot an animatronic. I mean, unless that's what James Cameron's been doing for 10 years now.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Can you imagine? Wow.
I know. I love that to be the reason Jim Cameron's been taking so long and all this stuff. But I know it's not the case. Like, wouldn't that be amazing if you learn why is he taking so freaking long? Where he's doing the whole movie with animatronic Navi. He's like, oh my God, that's so worth the wait. Yeah. Okay, the point being, we have a real Hondo. Whether it's Jim Cummings is gonna be, you're gonna be hearing Jim Cummings. I don't know how we're gonna achieve the point.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean to like just imply that Jim Cummings has to be there on the set, but we absolutely have to dub in Jim Cummings.
Yeah, I mean, you're hearing the voice of Jim Cummings for sure. I mean, anyway. So Hondo, he reacts with excitement about like, oh, hey, it's a Mandalorian you never see.
Yeah. That's what I love about Hondo, man. It's like he's such a sketchy character, but at the same time, he's also just got such a passion for what he does and just a fascination with stuff.
This guy's my kind of pirate, by the way. Like I love like kind of the like the swashbuckling kind of life of the party pirates, not just kind of the guy. Like again, you're kind of your Long John Silver types, like those guys.
Sure, absolutely.
Anyway, so the point being, like, is like Hondo like welcoming like a stranger, like he was an old friend. It's like, oh, Mando, a Mandalorian? What do you know? And it's so rare to see you these days. It's like an endangered species, let alone this little guy. Again, I'm spitballing with some Hondo dialogue.
Sure.
The point being, you know the cadence, though. It's like it's the wonderful kind of charm of Hondo Ohnaka. So he's like, let alone like this little guy. So Mando tells Hondo that he's looking for a Jedi, and Hondo, he gets nostalgic because, of course, the really great thing, the reason Hondo is a no-brainer for this. And again, honestly, it started with Hondo, and then it kind of developed into,
let's do Batuu. Like our branching point from everything, pretty much.
I really like that Hondo character, and obviously Hondo, he's really popular with Batuu. But again, Hondo, he has ties to Jedi, so it makes him a no-brainer for a Mandalorian crossover. And Hondo's, he's been in Clone Wars and in Rebels. The point being, he's going to breach the generations, and of course, he's in 3 generations of Star Wars.
He is, yeah.
Okay, so the point being, Hondo's getting nostalgic, kind of telling tales about his basically his Clone Wars and his Rebel days, with basically his Jedi misadventures, getting to know Obi-Wan and Ezra, the younger Jedi, basically one of the last Jedis from basically alludes to him. And from what I understand, I've still not finished Rebels. From what I understand, basically Ezra's MIA, and obviously Kenobi's dead. So the point being, there's not. I made sure of that so I can know. Like, wait a minute, does he actually know a Jedi, or is it? Well, yeah, he knew a Jedi. So the point being, Hondo's got the connects and he's touting them off, and definitely Mando knows this is the guy who would know about the Jedis.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yes, I love those guys, but it's been a while. I would know. It's been a while since I've seen them. I don't know if they're dead or not. Anyway, so Hondo's
basically like it doesn't come off like he's like sincerely worried about them. It more comes up like like, oh, like kind of like a passing, like they might be dead. Who knows?
Yeah, because again, he really did like these guys, but it's the fact that they might be dead, but they're resourceful. I'm sure they'll be fine. But but sadly, no idea where they are. Anyway, so Hondo mentions that he's redirecting the conversation. He mentions, "Oh, I heard talk of this child and all the chaos, and this is the little bugger responsible for all the chaos on Navarro." And basically says, "Oh, but don't worry, I support everything you did on Navarro. Basically all the stormtrooper killings and everything, all the chaos there, and all that craziness. Like, because I never liked the Empire, and the idea here is that throughout Star Wars, during the age of the Empire, so to speak, they were always spoiling his fun. They were arresting his guys, killing his crew. The point being, he operated solo in kind of like the Rebels age of Star Wars because Empires they didn't stand for pirates. The Empire didn't like pirates.
Another thing I like about Hondo, though, or at least this is a vibe I got from like one of the bits of dialogue in Smuggler's Run, is in the queue line for Smuggler's Run. There's one bit where you hear an intercom say like, "Mr. Ohnaka, there's First Order guards. Should we alert the troops?" And then Hondo's just like, "No, the First Order is our friends."
That's the thing. He's always about sweet talking the Empire or the First Order.
Even if he even if in his core he he hates these people, he's all about schmoozing it over. That's like schmoozing is kind of his weapon.
Absolutely. Weaponized pleasantries, my kind of guy. So basically, he demonstrated, and what we're doing here, of course, speaking to one of the coolest things about the Mandalorian, the untapped potential of the status quo, and I can vouch for this too because I did copious amounts of research on this, on like what we can officiate as like the 5 years later status quo, and it is true there is nothing outside the Mandalorian, so it was tough. So, point being, Hondo demonstrates his love for the new status quo. "Oh, let me introduce you to my new crew." And of course, his new crew includes 2 ex-Empire guys. Demonstrate no hard feelings for the Empire. There was schmoes doing their jobs. No hard feelings. So we meet R5P8, and this is the droid from Smuggler's Run.
Yes, great deep cut. Love it.
Basically kind of like an astromech with a built-in blaster sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a pull I insisted upon. Gary the Stormtrooper. Because I geeked out about this on Mando, because he's not specifically Gary the Stormtrooper, but he's an actor who played a guy named Gary from Iron Man 3. So anyway, the point being, I love Gary the Stormtrooper. For those who may not be aware, in Robot Chicken,
he's a fanboy guy.
Yeah, the fanboy guy from...
man, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
One thing, in Mandalorian, the 2 stormtroopers that get killed by IG-11, one of them, the one that was all about, "Hey, let me see it," that guy, that's the fanboy from Iron Man 3.
Oh, okay.
So this guy's Donald Faison in Robot Chicken, the Star Wars specials. My favorite character is Gary the Stormtrooper, played by the wonderful Donald Faison from Scrubs and everything. This guy's hysterical, and it's like all the fun, mundane Stormtrooper gags you could ever imagine. Like a Stormtrooper has "Don't take your child to work" day, which is priceless. Point being, I'm desperate to see Gary the Stormtrooper, especially after we kind of gilded the lily. We teased it at the end of Mandalorian, so I want the legit article in this. And again, the holiday special, folks, is again. We've seen a lot worse on the holiday special than "Let's just work in Gary the Stormtrooper." Okay, I think we can indulge in a few liberties. And you know what? If Gary's like not a Star Wars name, we'll call him Geary or something. Like we'll give it a fun space pronunciation.
I like that. Geary's fine.
Like Geary the Stormtrooper, which I think the gag takes anyway is sliced. The point being, he's kind of our comic relief of the group.
Mm-hmm.
We have Melch, who's kind of like he's an Ugnaught, but he doesn't speak English. So we have an Ugnaught associate of Hondo's from Rebels. This guy has a whole silent dynamic with him, kind of like the Penn and Teller dynamic with him and Hondo.
Sure.
We have a Krog pirate. These guys are like big shellfish-looking creatures, just basically general muscle, not really chatty Cathy, but just big general muscle. And then we have the coolest one. This one I also insist upon. Tiki, I love this character is awesome. In the tie-in comics that now count, basically the post-Disney comics that they've like filled in the blanks for Star Wars, back when the comics were really good. Boba Fett had a partner, so I figured we kind of take the leap here, where he kind of teamed up with a guy. It was kind of an evil version of Chewbacca. It was Black. His name is Black Chrysantan. Black Chrysantan. He's basically the idea. This guy's like the black sheep of Kashyyyk. He is a gladiator Wookiee. He's all black. I'll show you a picture. He's all black. He's got like scars and everything. He's wearing like metal plated armor. He's just really cool looking. He's awesome, man. I'm dying to see this guy. And again, I wanted to get a Wookiee in the Life Day, and the only logical way to do that for our plot is we got to get Black Chrysanthemum in there.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right.
So Hondo, he mentions he's thinking about starting up a business. He kind of hypes up the the mystique of Batuu, basically just like, oh, it's a whole melting pot of smugglers here.
Yeah. So at the point, he strikes a deal with Mando, and of course,
Uh,
Hondo's always about striking a deal. This is not a deal in his favor. Basically, Mando's like asking for his help to find a Jedi, and I was like, oh, it sounds great. What's in it for me? Of course, Mando here. Of course, he basically just asking for a very simple thing: help me find a Jedi. You actually know your way around here, and he knows that all that. So man just wants simple information and his life day, but Hondo not exactly as jolly as he is. Not initially very charitable. So Mando, being the cool guy that he is, says, I won't collect your bounty. I won't collect the bounty that's on you if you help me find a Jedi lead, essentially. So Hondo's then, he spins it. I guess Hondo's always about spinning the bad news and the good news. Always kind of glass half full, this Hondo Ohnaka says, of course, what am I saying? Of course I'll help you. It's in the spirit of Life Day. Why wouldn't I help you?
Right.
The holiday's about brotherhood. You are my brother. Let's do this. And of course, Hondo
I'm
never...
I'm going to mark that down as another trope, and I think it's a good trope. Fake holiday pleasantries. Yeah. Right.
So Hondo, of course, nothing for nothing's sake here. Hondo, he is secretly plotting to steal the Razor Crest. He gives an ominous nod to his men, who basically all his men stay behind because they're planning something.
Oh yeah.
So basically, Hondo's taking Mando and Baby Yoda to the one place he knows on Batuu that's going to know everything about the Jedi. So Hondo takes Mando to Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities.
Yep. And here's the deal, Dragon. Basically, this animatronic is so convincing that I'm convinced that you could do this whole scene just with the animatronic.
I'm all for that. Basically, the only thing this guy needs to do is like maybe bring up a box. If they reprogram the animatronic just to put a box on a counter, I think absolutely, yeah.
Right, yeah, or something like that, yeah.
Basically, he only needs two motions. He needs to put a thing on his back, and then he needs to pull a box. The point being, I think it's possible. We could even just use the animatronic in this case, because this guy, he's pretty pre-programmed.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
so we're going to Doc Ondar's Den of
Antiquities.
So Baby Yoda's looking around here. We got some little holiday special nods here. Basically, a bunch of Life Day merchandise going on here from the kind of the Art Carney section of the holiday special. With he's got like the self groomer, little transmitter, and mini aquariums. I want Baby Yoda to hold a mini aquarium. That's the new cute Baby Yoda thing. I want that so badly. All right, so what happens?
Okay, so Hondo tells Doc to put his translator on, because of the language barrier gag. And Mando doesn't trust Hondo to translate, which is great. Of course he wouldn't. And then, okay, Dragon, wait, we had to cast someone for Doc Ondor. Doc Ondor is an old gangster thug who is in it for the life. He's like a lifer in this world of crime. He knows everything about it. He's kind of cynical, but at the same time, kind of a wise sage of the smuggling world. Who did we cast, Dragon?
We cast, again, in Mandalorian, there is a Breaking Bad alumni, an Albuquerque-verse alumni, and we kind of followed suit. We got the great and powerful Jonathan Banks, folks.
Now, of course, Jonathan Banks, he's kind of one of those people we go to the well for, quite a bit, but for good reason, man. He's versatile.
Yeah, and by the way, just to explain briefly again, the whole language barrier gag is that, with the Doc Ondor, he speaks an alien language. So the idea if you go to Galaxy's Edge, you can hear
it's kind of like a Jabba style language, yeah.
And in Clone Wars, these guys, they did go the Senate meetings, and they had this little device they put on the back of their necks or something, and basically translated for them. So that's the idea. Because Mando doesn't trust Hondo to translate for him, so Hondo just put the translator on. He's not going to trust me. So that basically gives us an excuse to hear the great and powerful Jonathan Banks. Again, you want Mando to hear the information. Again, you want to. It's a little nod, a little poke at the holiday special, where again you had Wookiees without subtitles or translations. So you want to avert that as well. It's a little nod to that. It's mainly a nod to that, but okay. So Doc Ondar, he gives a history lesson on the scarcity of Jedi, mainly to tease up something I'm pretty sure Season 2 is going to get to. I did research on the Darksaber, and I found out something I didn't know before, that Apparently, the original Mandalorian, he became a Jedi, and that's why he built the Darksaber.
Mm-hmm.
So the point being, while they are kind of at war with each other over the years, and again, that's why the Darksaber keeps changing all the hands and everything. It was kind of a Mandalorian weapon against the Jedi's because it was intent. The point being, there's a crossover between the Jedi legacy and then the Mandalorian legacy, which is very interesting. So the point being, Doc Ondar is just kind of a little history lesson through the wonderful voice of Jonathan Banks about, you don't find many Jedis around these days, and it's kind of odd you being a Mandalorian looking for a Jedi. Given your ancestry, which again might talk up that a little bit. Hondo, he's kind of reminiscing off to the side because big thing is that Ondar has worked with Hondo, and because again, I love that Ondar is kind of like this businessman. He's a really interesting businessman, a tradesman, and the idea he's done, like, he's hired Hondo for jobs, like stealing the Kyber crystal statue from I believe a Jedi temple way back in the day. So there's like some fun stuff like that. So it's like, oh, you remember that one?
What I picture the Ondar and Hondo Ohnaka relationship to be like is essentially like they're business associates with a little bit of a friendly rivalry, but that doesn't mean they still can't collaborate and do things. It's like they kind of like they kind of like have their fingers in different pots of Batuu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've always really found that interaction fascinating, and I'm glad we get to explore it here a little bit.
And again, the idea too is like Hondo. Again, he smuggles things, and again, like Doc Ondar has a lot of things from Star Wars. How does he get those things? Hondo.
Yeah.
Again, it makes sense that they would have interaction. And of course, the main thing we do know for a fact that he stole a Kyber crystal statue for him. So that's something.
But I think the rivalry thing comes into place because Doc Ondar is, of course, the godfather of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And Hondo Ohnaka kind of fancies himself a godfather in his own right.
Certainly, he's the up-and-comer. He's the guy kind of trying to be. Yes. Point being, some interesting crossover between those guys. And again, it's why it's like when Ondar sees Hondo, like Hondo's the one fondly reflecting. Your Ondar's like, oh, man, it's again very Jonathan Banks like.
Hey there, Hondo. What do you want?
Again, almost like a Jimmy McGill thing. It's that useful guy who talks to him. That's pretty much what he thinks of Hondo as.
Yeah,
he's the useful guy, but He's a useful guy, but he talks too much.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so basically, the course basically here's the money part of Jonathan Banks as Ondar here, where basically he says every item, and again, it's the true fact about Ondar's place. Every item has a story behind it. And finding a Jedi's lightsaber, which we know there are lightsabers in the place. Finding a Jedi's lightsaber may as well be a grave marker or a tragedy, because again, so many Jedi's are gone now. If you find a lightsaber, it's like a relic of a Jedi who used to hold that thing, which means their grave marker, something bad happened to him, which is why I don't have their lightsaber anymore. Again, a la Anakin Skywalker, not dead, but again, lost his lightsaber. Well, now he's dead, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so meaning Mando, he basically seeing the lightsabers there, like Ondar, he brings up like a box of lightsabers in front of him just to demonstrate the point during this. And point is like meaning Mando learning from a guy who again sounds like with the voice of Jonathan Banks also adds so much legitimacy. It's like this guy, he's not trying to wheel and deal me. I still have no lead, and this coming from a guy who really would know. So Hondo's met Jedi's. This guy, he knows about the Jedi's. Nothing. I ain't find Luke Skywalker and all this, so it's not good. Poor Mando. So the closest thing, and also before they leave too, like the Doc Ondar says, the closest thing he has to anything relating to what's going to help him is he has a few holocrons, but they all pretty much say the same things. Of course, we pull out a holocron, activate, and there's an awesome cameo. Bob Newhart as a Jedi.
Hey.
This is kind of a dual thing here. One main thing, Elf. Of course, another Elf alumni like we had in The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau collaboration. Here we have Bob Newhart, who was fantastic in Elf. Also
I want to float it out there. Should we get Favreau himself to direct this?
Well, it was his idea. So honestly, I would say yes. Let's get Favreau, because Favreau didn't direct any of the Mandalorian episodes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Either Favreau or Dave Filoni should direct this. I'll say that much, because Filoni, I'm sure, has some fun. Is like the guy who should direct the stuff, if not Favreau.
I think really it should be Favreau's baby, though, if it was his idea from the inception.
Yeah, it should. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so the point being, a little Bob Newhart cameo again, one mainly an elf reference, but also it's a bit of a in the Big Bang Theory. He actually played a Jedi, so it would be a fun like, oh my god, he actually gets to play a Jedi in Star Wars. That's awesome. Put him in the Jedi robes like he was in there, but it's legitimate. So basically, Newhart kind of speaking to like it's like one of his last declarations about like things aren't looking good right now. Order 66 probably happening at the moment he's recording this. Basically, he's uncertain about the survival. Again, basically, real acting by Bob Newhart. You know, like simple but short, simple, sweet acting by Newhart, saying he's uncertain of his survival, but he hopes for the future, future survivors that are going to come out of this, like Ahsoka. But little does he know. And building a better order, which a little does he know about how that Last Jedi goes, where like kind of the dystopian version of like a better order. Which again, who knows? Andor on the way out, he tries to sell Mando. Hey, before you go, you want to get some little like a robe for the little one? It's Life Day after all. What do you think? Mando says no, and he's rejecting the holiday yet again because he's no closer to finding a Jedi. Boom! End of Act 2. Down note. Drama.
All right.
Drama.
All right, so we are making good progress here, Dragon. Let's get into Act 3. So Hondo invites Mando to stay for the Life Day festivities. He offers him some
Bantha Surprise.
Remind me what Bantha Surprise is.
Okay, Bantha Surprise was the food from the holiday special for the whole like the cooking show commercial from Harvey Korman.
Yeah.
Whip stir, that whole thing. So
and I think it would be in our best interest to have Jim Cummings kind of riff a little like, Mando, whip, stir, whip.
Well, maybe like hey, what's some Bantha Surprise? I know how to make it. Whip, stir, it's the whole thing.
Stir, whip.
Easy to make. You'd love it.
You gotta have a whip, stir, whip in there, Dragon.
Well, basically, he would oversell it by saying, I can make it easily, man. You're gonna love it. Or like something like the secret to it is to whip, stir, whip.
Yes. Oh God, that warms my heart. I want this to be real. Anyways,
the point being, Hondo's trying a little too hard here to try. He wants Mando to stick around, obviously, for the con that he's pulling under Mando's helmet.
Sure.
So he's offering Bantha Surprise and everything, like all sorts of pleasures. Hey, drinks on me. What do you say? He's pawning off like, oh, I feel bad. So sad for you. Don't find it worth it, baby. No Jedi for you. I feel so sorry. Why don't you bask in the day again? He's trying to, yet again, the Grief cargo offer reappears. Yet no go. It's a no dice for the Mando. He's going to go back on his journey because this is the way. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mando heads back to the ship. Importantly, he's a little dejected. He stores the baby. Very importantly, stores the baby on the ship. But then he's ambushed by Black Chrysantan, again, the evil Wookiee. So he basically... awesome is he appears out of nowhere waiting on the ship, throws him outside the ship. The idea, we don't really need the shows, but the idea is like R5P8. He got once he got the nod from Hondo, he tracked down where the ship was, and then they were all getting ready to set the trap so they could make sure Mando doesn't get on the ship. And anyway, okay. So Hondo, very charismatic. Oh yes, do it, man, do it.
Okay, so he's just very Dragon. He tries to sell stealing the ship as like a business opportunity, and I love it. That's so Hondo Ohnaka. So he's basically just like, Mando, I have all the respect in the world for you, but you see, I see a business venture in my midst, and when I see one, I take it, and I need this fine shit, Mando. I'm so sorry, but anyways, I'm not selling it as well as I thought I would, but you get the gist. He's being super complimentary. He's being super pleasant, but at the same time, he's like, but I am going to need this ship.
I should have mentioned this a little earlier, but because it basically gets brought up here, I think that's why I forgot about it. Is that basically there's going to be a throwaway line where Hondo mentions that, while he's on Batuu, he's thinking, oh, man, he's trying to start his business. He's trying to start a business. Because he sees basically he sees Batuu as like the land of opportunity, and he could really build a business here. Which, of course, we know when Galaxy's Edge rolls around, like 30 years later, he has like Ohnaka Transport Solutions. So this is like the precursor to
Ohnaka Transport Solutions.
So that's the idea. This is kind of like the light bulb moment for that. Where basically the idea, classically through all the Star Wars appearances, even when you get to Smuggler's Run, Hondo is always stealing people's spaceships because he never has truly like a ship of his own. So that's the idea. So he's still doing it. And of course, even again, he's using the Millennium Falcon for his own ends by then. So the point being, so Hondo's always looking for a ship. He's a pirate, he's a pirate without a ship, being the idea.
Mhm.
So that's the thing. So he's stealing the Razor Crest, which is very reliable. It's old school and gets the job done. Again, he respects the man who respects him. Oh, I truly respect him. He basically is wishing him luck on his journey, but he needs his ship. That's essentially what the thing is. Mando does not take this well, as you'd imagine. So this leads to an awesome Indiana Jones-esque fight.
Oh, I love this idea for this fight scene, Dragon. I always love these kind of fights. And yeah, just like a physical one-on-one brawl between Pedro Pascal and the Mando armor, and just like a stun actor in the Wookiee costume. Just, oh my God, just give it to me.
Oh yeah, and it's just this big knuck again, like big guy, little guy sort of fighting again, very much like the giant Nazi from Raiders of the Lost Ark, just that sort of fight. Okay, and again, like there was the coolest version of it too. Okay, so then the point, like man is like charging a Hondo, and then of course Wookiee intervenes, and then basically he's keeping him busy while they steal the ship. So
Come on,
Hondo,
boys, let's use this ship for our next smuggler's run.
yeah, so right now he's planning. So I'm gonna use the ship for business interactions, basically, keep it going like that. Hondo, of course, there's a baby on board, folks. Very important detail. So Hondo is charmed by Baby Yoda, and he reassures Baby Yoda that, oh, don't you worry, precious little thing. I won't collect the bounty on you. No, I'd perish the thought. I'd never do that. Hondo loves kids. Instead, I'll make you a member of my crew. How would you like that? And of course, like, you see like Baby Yoda being all happy and giggling. You like that, don't you? Always wanted a Jedi on my crew, because famously he's always wanted to, like Obi-Wan, or especially Ezra. He's always wanted Ezra Bridger on his crew, but he always sticks by his guys. The point being, Hondo finally gets what he wants. He gets a protege in the form. He's looking at Baby Yoda like he's Star-Lord, man, pretty much. Okay, so the point being, while that's happening, they're starting the takeoff, being the little ticking clock of the scene. They're starting to take off. Mando, meanwhile, with the Wookiee, they're crashing into a few Life Day stands and like the little iniquities and stuff, little like light bulbs for later on. I felt so bad. I wanted to work Adam Scott in there, so I worked him. He's like one of the fleeing guys. Adam Scott's a huge Star Wars fan. He adores Mark Hamill on heart because I love the guy. Anyways, the point of Adam Scott's like fleeing is like when his stand with the light bulbs gets crashed. Like he just runs away. They're tossing droid parts at each other from like the droid construction place. And he says they're throwing stuff at each other. Like maybe Mando tries to go for like the vibrating knife at the really cool like vibrating knife at that kind of our evil Wookiee here. It doesn't go well because the Wookiee's like tossing him around. Anyways, of course, Mando goes for one of the coolest arsenals in his little array. Sets fire to the Wookiee, man. It's like a scarred up, nasty looking Wookiee, so he kind of sets him on fire to end the fight. Of course, don't worry, he's alive. He's just like, he's stunned and he's running away. He's like trying to put himself out. So the point being, the Wookiee's stunned. Mando, he's seen the ships taken off. He uses his jetpack, but it's too far. He's flying, but he flies like to like an upper level. But he realizes as he lands on the upper level, it's too far. I'm never going to reach him in time. What's a Mando to do when he turns left? What does he find?
He finds Star Tours.
Nothing but Star Tours. Anyway,
Greg, we have to have that Star Tours chime as soon as he sees Star Tours.
I hear you. Like maybe, possibly he hears it first, like and of course.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that tune right, but you know what I mean.
No, like we're not doing it justice. Hold on, Dragon. I can pull it up on my phone, but go ahead.
Well, the point being, so Mando again, like the dark is there. He's like almost like a Pizza Planet truck from Toy Story 2. Like, how he's getting away. Look to let beats anyone. In this case, here's the little chime.
Hold on. Okay, cue it up one more time.
Anyway, so the point being, like, man, the darkest hour of his soul. Here, hears a sound. Turns to his left, and it's Star Tours.
There we go. All right.
I love me the Star Tours ship, by the way. So I love seeing that thing. This is classic Star Tours, by the way. This is literally like the original version of it too. This is before they repainted it for like the 30 years later. And again, I know here's the thing: we know Star Tours isn't canon, by the way. It's in the It's in the. I think we've seen it maybe pop up once in Clone Wars, but aside from that, though, I mean, it's in the Smuggler's Run, right?
Oh no, Star Tours is absolutely in canon.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, a lot of love for Star Tours. You can probably tell.
Video games too.
Cool. I mean, that's I sorry. I go gaga for Star Tours anyway. Point being, OG Star Tours, man. So Mando interrupts Captain Rex.
Oh god, oh, I love this.
Of course, is the returning Paul Rubens doing the voice, doing the performance of Captain Rex. The Captain Rex is basically in the middle of his.
Let me ask you something. Should we just how should we do the whole I know this is probably blank and it's mine too?
Well, the idea he's giving a spiel. I know it's probably your first flight. Either you look at it, he keeps getting replacers, or he keeps getting he's got continually buggy droid, so he keeps saying it's his first flight too every time. You can read it that way. If you might be able to work in the line verbatim if you do it that way.
Right.
or he could either that, or he could say, "I know this is your first flight. It might be mine too. I don't know."
I like that.
The point being something that makes you wonder, oh, you folks are you folks are in for quite the ride.
Right. Okay, let's go with that. It might be mine too.
Anyway, the point being, he's doing a spiel like that anyway. Either that, or honestly, the way it probably actually works is he starts the line. He says, "I know this is your first flight, and it's my." And anyways, then of course interrupted by the Mando hijacking the whole thing.
Oh, good boy. I like that. Yes, let's.
The point being, so
let's do that.
Yes. So the point being, man, he's given the spiel, which of course is the iconic line. It's interrupted in the middle as Mando draws his blaster. I'm like, what the?
Oh my god, I love.
So again, he draws his blaster on Captain Rex, and again, old Mando, start of season 1.
Dragon, we get some emotion in Rex. Dragon, this is the most emotional we're ever going to see Rex, because Rex, in his eyes, is fearing for his life.
Yep. So Mando draws the blaster. Old Mando would have just shot him and just shoved him out of the seat. In this case, Mando draws his blaster. He hesitates. Moment of pause to imply he's thinking of his old buddy IG-11. He befriended IG-11. He's not like the old Mando he was. We're just going to shoot every droid because he's a prejudice against droids. Not anymore. Understandable prejudice because they killed his parents, but Anyway, so Mando stops himself from shooting a droid. He grabs him by the shoulder and just kind of moves him out of the way. He hijacks the Tor to save Baby Yoda. Now, I have one of two ways this gag works, by the way, with our next with our next cameo. So Star Tours gives chase, and there's one of two ways this goes down. One, you have the passengers on board. Okay. You have our cameo is Kevin Smith. They want to work Kevin Smith in there.
Yes. Oh my
Kevin
god.
Smith,
this is gonna be so good.
So this goes down one of two ways. One, if we have passengers on board, he's in there regardless. I could say either Kevin Smith, he's on board for the whole duration of the chase, where he's giving his Silent Bob reactions,
he's basically just one of the funny people in the background, where it's he's just giving over the top, oh no, kind of silent reactions to what's going on.
When he walks on the thing, Captain Rex is giving the spiel, yeah, and then Amanda's pulling gun, oh.
Right.
And then when they're taking off, he's basically he's our comedy cut if we're cutting inside the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, and maybe if there are passengers, then we surround them with maybe a Jawa and stuff like that. We have a Jawa. We have
maybe another Wookiee just to homage the Star Tours flash photograph gag.
Sure, something like that. Let's use one of the old. Let's try going for some of the old classic Wookiees, maybe a Nietzsche or something like.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, so the other way you could do it too is perhaps this is a guy I think you might like the soap. He's just as Kevin Smith, he sits down, he buckles up, no problem whatsoever. Then Mando, he just basically tells everyone to get out, and they're darn it, he unbuckles the seat. That's a little the old Southwest incident. Basically, that's if you want. What do you like?
No, I kind of like that's a funny gag, but I kind of like the idea of Kevin Smith being involved in the whole scene more. I really love the idea of Kevin Smith being the reactions guy that we cut to.
The point being, so you have his reactions along with Captain Rex's commentary throughout the whole thing, basically giving a Ryan commentary.
Comets!
In this case, asteroids. Asteroids! So basically,
maybe an I've always wanted to do this.
This is is actually kind of fun and terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, he's giving
Just basically this whole thing would just be a giant like Star Tours 1.0 fan service thing with like all the fun classic Captain Rex lines.
Yeah. Some of the classic lines also maybe allusions to he might get fired for this. Like, oh, I'm so fired. Which obviously we kind of know where that goes. So this might be for all we know, this could be Captain Rex's last ride before he gets demoted to being a DJ. Anyway, so the point being, start
lands on Batuu Dragon. So
that's the thing. Okay, so the point being, we have like running comedy gags with Captain Rex and Kevin Smith reactions and the whole thing. Basically, Star Tours is giving chase. So it's just this cool set piece idea that's Mando is bringing that baby home, both his ship and the actual Baby Yoda, by giving chase in a Star Tours, like any dedicated parent being the idea. So he's chasing down the Razor Crest with Star Tours. The two ships simultaneously go to light speed, and they light speed into an asteroid storm. Now, this is a deep cut for the holiday special. Han and Chewie mentioned an asteroid storm. They don't want to get caught in an asteroid storm in the holiday special. So what do we do? They fly right into an asteroid storm. They get the crap like taken out of both their ships. Like take a lot of damage from the asteroid storm. They're trying to evade stuff. Like they're little nods to the comets from Star Tours as well. It's a little little column A, little column B. Razor Crest importantly takes some damage until they clear the storm. Mando's then trying to steer the Razor Crest back towards Batuu. He got slammed into it. Star Tours has blasters, but not good blasters. The point being, Mando, it's going to be a long ride for him. So Rex is asking, why don't you shoot him down? Mando's saying, well, it's my ship, and there's precious cargo on board, because obviously he doesn't want to... It's like, there's a baby on board, without being so cheesy about
it. God. Okay. We have some comments from Inhuman Quake, by the way.
Oh, good.
He says, I wish they did a holiday special, and he said, Baby Yoda looks cute in the red sweater, which, yes, I agree.
A little red robe there.
That's definitely going to be like the selling point of the holiday special. I could imagine them just like that being the thumbnail on Disney Plus. All right. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So meanwhile, what's going on the Razor Crest? So before Hondo and company, like they're probably reacting like, "What? This guy's crazy. I love him, but we got to get out of here."
It's almost kind of like a Yondo, like, this kid, he's giving me trouble, but I love him,
Pretty much. Like he's more like that's kind of thing with Ezra. That's his relationship with Ezra. Definitely has a Peter Quill thing with Ezra, but in this case, it's more like, man, I love this guy, but I got to blow him the heck.
Sure, exactly.
So before Hondo and company says, I'm going to regret this because this guy's cool. Like he's practically an endangered species, but we got it. He's about to fire at him. Meanwhile, of course, sensing the Mando's in danger, Baby Yoda uses basically we have kind of a Force version of Jack attack.
This is such a good idea, Dragon.
Like basically the Jack climax from The Incredibles, where basically he's like basically Baby Yoda's like throwing all these guys around inside the ship and like throw them like into the weapons closet there. And he's toss them around, steering the ship like back and forth, maybe like slams into an asteroid for a second, then back and forth. Like man's like, what the heck is going on? Then he's steering back to Batuu. So then basically he's all throughout this, by the way, the comedy on board here, the Kevin Smith, if you will, for this one is Donald Faison as Gary the Stormtrooper freaking out. Like, what is happening? And screaming like a girl, as he tends to do. Just as Gary, think this is absolutely what Gary the Stormtrooper would do. Like, hey, stop slamming into me. What's happening? And he would like do the comedy version, like, baby, stop the magic handling, stop it.
Oh God.
I think they're gonna slam into an Anyways, the point being, Baby was causing all sorts of chaos inside, then steering him back towards Batuu. Mando reluctantly he fires a targeted blast, basically crash land the Razor Crest down to make sure it lands on Batuu and they don't get control back of the thing. So as they crash land back on Batuu, we have like one last comedy insert on Star Tours. Kevin Smith has like a sigh of relief, like a silence. It's after all of that.
And of course, should we have some sort of tease of like Rex being like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm crash landed on this planet."
Yeah, like again, like it's sort of like, oh, like thank God that's over. They're like, oh, well, it's any land you can walk away from, right?
Right.
Or basically, actually, he's gonna have to address the crowd. Well, thanks for flying with Star Tours, everybody.
Oh yes, that's great. That's great. Yeah, let's just
Yeah,
leave
remember,
it
he
at
does
that.
all the fun pilot dialogue. That's his thing.
Uh-huh. All right,
All
all
right.
right.
So anyway, so Hondo and his crew, they've crash landed. They're picking themselves like, oh god, at least that's over. Okay, so we're gonna fight the Mando. They're all getting ready to fight the Mando, and then of course the door opens and they're expecting Mando. It ain't Mando, Tiki. Who is it?
Cara Dune!
Yeah.
Oh, we are big Cara Dune fans, Dragon.
Yeah.
I would say Cara Dune is probably the best female character in Disney Star Wars right now.
She is quite fantastic. You gotta love her. So Cara Dune appears. She makes her big appearance in this little shindig. Of course, classic holiday especially. They brought in like all the classic Star Wars characters, even if Vader was like a piece of deleted footage. The point being, we brought him in. And all the biggies were there. So point being, Cara Dune appears, but she actually does cool stuff this time around. She appears and she's into it, man. She appears and she takes them all. She takes a whole bunch of them out. Basically, she instantly shoots R5's blaster gets drawn, or she shoots the blaster off of his head or something.
Oh god, yeah.
She grabs, and I'm proud of this bitch. She grabs R5, who's like an R2D2 astronaut. She basically grabs him with her strength and basically throws him into the muscle of the group, throws him in the crawl, the giant shellfish guys, to take him out. Mando, then, of course, Hondo, as he tends to do, he's fleeing, he's running away, he knows he can't win. If a woman's throwing a droid into a guy, he can't win that fight. He's out of there. He's running away with Mulch, his little kind of silent sidekick. Mando draws guns on him, and they're done. So their point being, he's got the guns drawn on him, and now it's like, what's the next step? So Cara mentions, like, why she's like, Cara, what are you doing here? She mentions that Grief Karga was worried that Hondo would pull something like this, as he's tended to do in their past interactions, like stealing spaceships and everything. And she was on assignment around this place anyway, so she stopped by his backup.
Uh-huh.
So again, does it any semantic police out there? Again, you could have had Wookiees watching VR stuff. Okay, we did you a service. Just go with it. All right. So Hondo's asking, okay, well, what do you do with me now, Mando? You've won you've won this battle fair and square. What is to become of the famous and beloved Hondo Ohnaka?
Yeah.
You're going to collect the bounty. You're going to kill me. So Kara's just checking on the kid. Meanwhile, Hondo he's pleading his case, like, oh, please, Mando, don't kill me. I'm too young to die.
Which is kind of bullshit, because at this point, we need to address that Hondo Ohnaka, man. He is, he's got the swagger of a young man, but he is up there in age.
Absolutely. I mean, he's over.
Like, he was in his prime during the Clone Wars,
We know he's over 50. We know he's definitely, he's at his youngest, he's 70. We know that's not the case.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Jabba the Hutt's 600, okay? Because I tried working like a Zero the Hutt thing, but I realized, here's the thing.
I really wanted to work Jabba the Hutt in, or the Hutts in general, but yeah.
Here's the thing. I was going to work in Jabba's son, do like a whole thing with Baby Yoda, but here's the thing. I looked at the Hutt's aging thing. Again, it's like Baby Yoda. It's like, like Jabba's 600 years old, so his son, again, it would not work. Any way you slice it, I couldn't do a Michael Corleone thing with Jabba's son. It just wouldn't have worked.
God.
I wanted to. I really did. I wanted Rhoda the Hutt to be like Michael Corleone and be like a whole like, Jedi's killed my father.
Right.
So, anyway,
but
the point
maybe
being,
they'd have they'd have like a big moment at the end where it's like he remembers how the Jedi's helped him as a baby.
I know that's what I was going for, but I couldn't make it work because it'd be like Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's 50. It would have been younger than 50. It wouldn't have worked. Anyway, semantics, folks. That's all the thought we put in. A lot of thought went into this. So, point being, what is to become of Hondo Ohnaka? Like, maybe we could compromise, like community service, something. I don't know, maybe. So Cara points out, well, it is Life Day, but he stole your ship, so it's your call, man. Do whatever you're gonna do. Like she's like, yeah, kill him. I don't care. So Mando decides to take the bounty from Hondo directly. Basically, take the bounty from Hondo directly, as in, I'm going to take the bounty, but I'm not going to take it. You're going to pay me the money. Essentially, pay me the money through repairing both of the ships. Kind of like he's taking care of the Star Tours. He feels a little bad about the Star Tours thing.
Right.
Again, it's like the old cowboy thing. Like, you damage the bar, you pay for it. It was like, fix the ships, both of them, pronto. And if you pull something like this again, I bring you in cold.
Ooh, nice, nice.
I love the Mando's catchphrase, like, I bring in warm, I can bring in cold. Yeah. So Hondo is very gracious against spinning this, like, oh, that's great. That's a amenable bargain. I like it. So he bodes Baby Yoda a very fond, respectful farewell. It's like, oh, my friend, you'll do well under this man's tutelage. I'll see you. It was nice while it lasted, though.
Yeah, yeah.
So before Hondo, give Mando a little food for thought here. He cautions Mando that, before I go, Mando, to fix your ships and everything. My experience, unless you see the body, no one's ever really gone.
No one's ever really gone.
I know, that's the point. Throw a little shade, a little natural shade in there. So again, basically, this is Hondo. He's been through this with Darth Maul before. Like, yeah, you think the guy's dead.
Exactly.
Unless you see the body. I mean, not just see the body falling down, you got to see the body. No one's dead. No one's ever really gone. So he implies that Gideon's alive. Mando should be on his toes. And again, season 2, he'll find that out the hard way, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right, so, meanwhile, Cara Dune is playing with the child and chatting with Mando. She's asking what Mando's next move is and why he's not celebrating Life Day and taking a break from the quest. Mando says, since a purge on Mandalore and the business on Navarro, the Mandalorians are more scarce than ever. And, and foundlings don't have family. It's just, as you say, Dragon, the way.
Yep.
So
they just have the way.
Yeah, so Cara relates with losing Alderaan and getting how he feels. She learned that family is fleeting, but sometimes friends are the next best thing. And you know who taught me that? You.
Yeah.
Nice little sweet moment.
Yeah.
So she asks if you can stick around for the ceremony. Mando points out, like, the ship's being repaired, so I don't really have a choice. And then, oh boy, we see Jerry, we see Baby Yoda eyeing the robes.
Yep, so now it's night, and we have the big famous ceremony, because we can't have a holiday special without ending on that ceremony.
Then Dragon, I insisted on this cameo. I love this.
Tell it to Adam Scott. He's crying in a corner. Go on, tell him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding, dude. Go on. Who is this?
Really quick, Inhuman Quake's asking about the Hondo Ohnaka Jim Cummings thing, and Human Quake, basically what it would be a walk around practical character with makeup and everything, and Jim Cummings' voice will be dubbed over it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dragon, Jenny Nicholson is going to deliver the Meaning of Life Day speech.
Yes, of course.
Which I think this is the perfect role for her. And I think if in real life she was offered to do this, she would just absolutely melt over it. So for those who don't know, Jenny Nicholson is like one of the, she's a big YouTuber in the Disney community, talks a lot about Disney parks and stuff. She's also a major Star Wars fan, one of the big voices of the female Star Wars fan community. And, of course, one of the things I love about Jenny Nicholson is that she goes so in-depth with what she likes, and she just did a video about the brony culture, Dragon, and it is, oh my God, it's fascinating. And so, so Jenny Nicholson, she's like the type of fan who's like us, Dragon. She's our people, you know what I mean? Like, when she gets into something, she doesn't just, like, have a passing interest in it. She needs to know everything about it. She, like, dives into it. So with that in mind, I think giving her the Meaning of Life Day speech would just be perfect. It would be great. And she'd like have like the weird kind of like hair, just like Carrie Fisher in The Special and everything. Man, it'd be great. All right, and then we'd have music as Anna Kendrick comes in and sings the Life Day song. And of course, I don't know, we just gotta have Anna Kendrick in there just because she's Disney friendly. She's a singer. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, sure, but again, also we should probably note that again, basically what we've done with the speech kind of encapsulates some of the Black Spire outposts of it all. It's kind of a fusion of like Life Day, of course, being about kind of peace and kind of intergalactic brotherhood, essentially. Sure. It's basically kind of the Black Spire themed version of where basically Black Spire in its like whole cells, it's a beacon for the lost and it kind of changes people before they enter the unknown reaches of the galaxy. Again, kind of a perfect precursor for what Mando's journey is going to be in season 2, so to speak. That anyone who stops by Black Spire, again, they're going to be changed as Mando's kind of learned a little bit about himself this special. He's going to go forward with the lessons that come from that. So Max Rebo, providing the music for an Anna Kendrick song. Of course, Anna Kendrick definitely got some Disney ties. Of course, also from holiday Disney ties, even with that movie she did.
Oh yeah.
And also, again, she can sing, and she's a big Star Wars fan, so it's kind of kismet. Like, well, let's get Anna Kendrick in there. So she's singing the Life Day song that Carrie Fisher sang. Leia sang, of course. Last shot is all the folks gather around in a circle in the robes, the little light bulb devices, and I actually saw in Galaxy's Edge people like cosplayers. Like this is like
definitely.
Yeah,
and Dragon, I swear to God, if it weren't for the freaking COVID of it all, I feel like Disney would just go all out with Life Day this year at Galaxy's Edge, man.
Yeah, I saw a video of them doing it before though, like the years, like I guess it was last year or something. Like, and people like made like actual like transmitter things where basically it was like like the little video, like the Boba Fett cartoon would play on this thing that they made. A lot of genius people doing cosplay for holiday special. Anyway, so the point being, they're all gathering little little LED light bulb things they're holding. Baby Yoda's in a small role, pretty much like we've kind of envisioned here in our little image. Kara, she's in kind of like the cool version of the Life Day hoodie. The Life Day robe. She's like wearing like it as like it's almost she's wearing it like a hood practically. She's like bare at the midriff, like her whole getup is like it covers the shoulders. It's like again the cool version of it. And Mando, he's not wearing that though. The most I could say maybe fashions in some sort of a cape, but I wouldn't bother. Mando's not wearing that thing. Point being, Mando's holding Baby Yoda. Holding the child close with an implied warm look under the mask, like this is bringing a little comfort, a little flashback to comfort for the Mando. He's holding the baby close, much like his foundling flashback in Act 1, like he reimagining himself with his family and his father. And of course, as we kind of focus on this, the Mando theme comes in at the end, kind of like tails off from the song to the and that's the end.
All right, Dragon. Honest to God, I really think, for all the scheduling conflicts we had with putting this thing together, I really think this came out super well, man. I'm proud of this. I think this is a tight pitch.
Yeah.
I think we I don't know. I really like that we kind of like incorporated Life Day in a natural way. I love all the Galaxy's Edge elements of it all. The Hondo stuff is fantastic. I'm a big fan of our own work this time around, Dragon. That's all I got to say with our final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts for me. Again, it just things kind of fell into place quite nicely, and then again, honestly, Hondo was the guiding light for the.
He really was. Yeah.
I mean, again, I knew like kind of the Mando's kind of driving thing, but outside of that, Hondo's where things really kind of fell into place. Because I mean, I tell you, man, before we settled on Batuu, I charted like a course on like all the planets we've seen in Star Wars. Oh God! You have no idea. I mean, I did.
No, Batuu actually kind of made things easy because, like I said, we've already envisioned Life Day on Batuu last year, so it kind of naturally makes sense for us to go that route. Plus the Hondo Ohnaka of it all. So I'm very satisfied with this. As a Star Wars fan, as a Galaxy's Edge fan, as a Star Wars Holiday Special fan, I'm quite pleased with this.
Oh yeah. Okay, so also we should shout out Orange Crush 76. Welcome.
Yeah, hey there, Orange Crush. You kind of came in a little late, but by all means, check out the podcast in the archive. I think you'll like it. Okay, so let's do some tropes, Dragon. I don't think we have quite as many as we usually do, but let's list them off.
Yeah, we got our Scrooge in the form of Mandalorian,
of course. Fake holiday pleasantries with Hondo.
Yep. Of course, some seasonal jolliness with Hondo as well. Again, I guess holiday, like kind of a Christmas at a bar, holiday at a bar. With
Sure.
Let's see. I mean, again, there's also some crossover here with Life Day stuff because again, it's Life Day before it's with the holiday in question. I mean, again, we have a bunch of
that makes it confusing, Dragon. But yeah, okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, like with the Life Day of it all, of course, we have a whole bunch of nods. Like again, the opening with the dinosaur on the the Redwater Sea of Panna. We got importantly, we have like a little aquarium. Basically, the products we have like kind of the holiday products, if you will, where we have like a little aquarium, the little groomer, the the little transmitter, stuff like that. Some fun stuff. There, the red robes, like the holiday ceremony or pageantry of it all. With
right.
Little ceremony. Lighting, Christmas lighting or holiday lighting in this case, actual. um, Being with the unconventional family. There you go. That's a big one. Unconventional family.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely.
And holiday mercy, because again, you could have just taken Hondo or killed him. You could have killed him at any
Christmas
time.
truce, if you will.
Also, Christmas holiday travel, which again through the Star Tours of it all.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, that's actually a really good pull, especially with Kevin Smith being the everyman in that situation.
Absolutely. Oh, and holiday flashback to holidays past with the full flashback device.
There we go.
Okay, right. I think that's good. My God, T, I'll tell you. You know what? We went through so much with this one. I tell you, man, it break the sane mind. But you know what else is going to break the sane mind? It's just. I mean, I love recounting. We just recounted some really excellent tropes that we envisioned, man. Tropes that we put together, that we strung along this little life day, celebration, as it were. And you know what? It's just, it's like this is the penultimate episode, man. We only have one left, and still we don't have like a nice jaunty phrase. We don't have like a patented phrase for like what we've done here. We've kind of broken something down, something holiday related, and we've kind of we've deconstructed like a scientific process, as if we took like a totem.
Hold on, Dragon. Hondo Ohnaka has an idea.
What you got, Hondo?
What about if we call it putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope?
Works great.
All right, folks, next time on Christmas in July.
La 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 la.
I've been on this ride before.
This is the way.
I know this is probably your first flight, and it's mine too.